Hello and welcome back, everybody. After a game one between CLG Academy and 100 Thieves Academy that definitely breathes life back into CLG. After what seemed like, again, backs against the wall for both of these teams. I mean, both of them have been struggling in the recent weeks. I think that you can walk away feeling pretty good about this one, Joshi.
Yeah, and I believe that actually means that CLG have caught up to Golden Guardians. They might still be one game behind at the end of it, but if CLG get a 2-0, they will be back in first place.
Exactly. They would have technically more 2-0 series over Golden Guardians, even though they would be tied in overall game score, if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, because Golden Guardians did go 1-1 today. So, yeah, I mean, CLG on the precipice of greatness here, but Rafa 100 Thieves still struggling to put things fully back together.
We saw the lack of synergy that we talked about during the pre-show once again, right? It didn't seem like Busio and Kenvi could really sync up for some early game plays this time around. A lot of the times it was Rosethorn and Preezy that
Rosethorn and Breezy. Saying that.
You know what? It's because Prismo and Breezy are so close together that I always think that they're, always one unit, But, Breezy and Rosethorn syncing up way better than Busio and Kenvi got a chance to this game. And I think that just allows for CLG to have a stronger control of the map.
It's so funny that we went into that one talking about how this bot lane has a magnet on it. Both these junglers are going to be looking down there. And then 10 minutes of nothing happening. No action. No
I mean, they
kills.
tried. They tried.
True.
They ganked Jimmy 3 times over that 10 minutes.
Yeah, the magnets were not on bot lane, Kangas. They're on mid lane. Specifically on
True. But that is, of course, game one in the books between these two teams. 100 Thieves Academy still hoping to turn around their misfortune in the second round robin. CLG Academy at least feeling better after that one, and in very impressive performance. Like you were saying, Dokla also back onto that form that we expect from him. Absolutely stomping. But for our halftime show today for this series, as we're getting ready for pick and ban of game number 2, we like to keep it light and have some fun. So we got another game show coming your way. This one, a fan favorite of Rafa and of some of our viewers as well, Tic Tac Trivia. This is an opportunity for us to not only kind of relive some of what happened in the last game as we talk about players, but more importantly, learn about the players and some fun facts that hopefully my casters all know. Because last week was a little embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, Rafa. I think you and Cubby only got 2 each.
Ooh.
Something like that?
Yeah.
All right.
See, I got griefed on one of them, to be fair.
True.
So,
I feel like I griefed both of you at least once. So, Josh, this is actually your first time playing, so I'll explain to you.
Zell wouldn't grief us
and
like
the
this,
audience,
just
wow, calling me out like that. Anyway, maybe Rafa just gets one immediate loss now. You should be pushing the host here, Rafa. But Joshi, to explain to you and the audience if they're not aware, we play tic-tac-toe, but in order to get your tick or your tack on the board, first you have to answer a trivia question about one of the players. So let's send it to full screen because I have our tic-tac trivia board lined up right now. This is what we'll be playing off of between 100 Thieves Academy and CLG Academy. Joshi, it is your first time, so I'll give you first go. You'll be circles. Or O's, I guess. I forget. I think I interchanged them last time, but either way.
Hugs and kisses, Kangas.
Hugs and kisses, baby.
Cool.
Which player would you like to answer a trivia question about to have a chance to get a attack on the board?
Man, I've seen a little bit of this, and the questions tend to be pretty difficult. So I'm just gonna try and go big. Let's go for Kenvi here, right in the middle.
Right in the middle. That's a good one to go for. All right.
Center control.
Center control. It's a classic strategy for tic-tac-toe. When Kenvi played in Amateur for 100 Next, he earned himself a nickname for his aggressive playstyle. What was his nickname back on 100 Thieves Next?
He had a nickname?
Oh no, Joshi! You can't do that!
I always just called him Kenvi, right? There's a whole Kenvi or can't be.
Okay.
I have no idea. I don't even have a guess.
Do you have a guess? You can throw out any guess then if you're not
Look,
confident.
I know, okay, a different hyper than the one we're used to would often call people the Destroyer. So I feel like that would be my only
The
guess.
Destroyer, let's take a look. Not the correct answer. Close though, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Rafa, do you have a better idea of what Kenvi's nickname was back in 100 Thieves Next?
Was it the Terminator?
The Terminator. Let's see. Full screen that graphic production. Absolutely. The Terminator was Kenvy's old nickname back in 100 Thieves Next. It's been a while, I think.
It's been a while, it has.
He's now against, more competitive junglers in the academy scene, but that was his old nickname.
I remember Hyper pushing that like forever.
See,
and I think there's like a toss-up between two, like another nickname, and he's like, no, guys, it has to be the Terminator. It's the Terminator, Terminator, Terminator. And he just kept doing it until
we were like, fine. Fine.
Yeah. We accepted it.
Hey, I still think it's a pretty cool name. I was going to have
It's
a
not bad.
bonus
It is
one
a
there
bad
of how many Terminator movies have there been, but I decided not to because it's not really about the players. Anyway, Rafa, back over to you.
You know what, Kangas?
Okay.
If we have time, I have a trivia question for you about
All right,
Kenvi.
let's save that till the end. Let's save that to the end.
Yeah.
Maybe if we need to fill more time before our pick and ban starts.
Yeah.
Back to the board here. Rafa, you're up next. You already got a tag on the board, but you're also next up to choose which player are you interested in. If production can make that full screen, you can see the full list of players. Who are you looking at?
Wixie bottom right.
Wixie bottom right. All right, this one's interesting. You actually might be the only one of all the casters I think could actually get this one.
Oh, no.
Before joining Cloud9 Amateur, before joining Collegiate Harrisburg, Wixby actually had a short stint on which other non-active amateur organization? As in, they no longer have an active roster. They're not in the scene. I don't go easy on you for these ones.
I think I actually know this one.
Okay, what?
I'm pretty sure I know this one.
Oh, okay. 5 seconds. 5 seconds on the clock. 4, 3.
It's something
2,
support. Life support.
Life support. Let's see it. Wow. Good job, Rafa.
Holy
Good
shoot.
job. You got it right at the very end. Life support. Yeah, they didn't accomplish too much while he was on the roster. Funny enough, they actually went on to win ETS LAN after he left.
Yeah.
But Wixie has, of course, moved on to bigger things.
I was thinking back, because I didn't know if this was like 2020 or 2018. Because I actually remember him being on a roster called Vireo at one point.
True.
But that wasn't
that
like,
was even before life support. That was a very long time ago.
That's why I was like, okay,
and he was technically only on the
was
B team.
this
He was on Vireo Green,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
is what it was called. But either way, congratulations. Rafa's got 2 on the board. Joshi, it's gonna be tough for you to get 3 in a row.
We gotta go top left to at least stop
left.
Mark from getting it. I mean, it's either stop him or like game's over. So we'll see how it goes. Go big or go home. Let's get Gamsu on the board.
Gamsu on the board. This is the question for Gamsu Trivia. After playing in 3 professional regions, then returning to League of Legends after a short stint in Overwatch League, Gamsu has only achieved 1 pentakill in his entire League of Legends career. Which team did he achieve his only career pentakill on?
I'm pretty sure it was on... Oh, it's one of 2. I think it was on Fnatic. I think he did it while he was still in Europe.
You think it was on Fnatic? Let's see
I think it was.
That is not correct. It was not Fnatic.
Dignitas.
All right, Rafa's going for Dignitas, the other North American.
He's very confident about that. That is very worrying.
That is also incorrect. It was not Dignitas. It was not Fnatic. It was, in fact, 100 Thieves.
What?
Yeah, he actually got it on 100 Thieves Next in the EGL Summer Showdown.
Oh,
my God,
yeah.
you're right.
That was his only career penta, was in North America Amateur.
Oh, I wiped that game from my memory. Oh, man.
You were casting it too.
That was a crazy
You were
game.
casting it.
I
Yeah.
know. That's why I Oh.
Well, Rafa,
okay.
that's one that you should have gotten, but luckily, I believe
I'm so ashamed of
you.
myself.
I believe it's back to you. But I mean, at this point, we don't, because of time, we actually don't have enough. Rafa, you just win by default. Congratulations. 2 points on the board.
I'm getting blown out today.
You're getting blown
Damn,
out, Yoshi. This is ridiculous. You can't get any points anyway. But anyway, it's a fun little game we like to play. I'm happy that we got some 100 Thieves because most of the CLG players were actually on a previous episode. But, of course, we are getting ready for pick and ban now. So I'm going to pass it back over to the casters. Rafa, are you ready to catch it? All right, here we go.
I got
Take
you.
us away.
I got it. Boom. I have taken it. Thank you, Kangas. I
Bye,
like that
Kangas.
he is enthusiastically embracing this. Yesterday, Mazel's like, you can't make the same joke twice, Rafa. And then I had to guilt trip him. And then, therefore, Mazel fell back.
Right.
Whereas Kangas is just outright impressive.
Okay. Now let's go back to the trivia while we wait for this next game to start. Because you had trivia for Kangas, but we'll see if I can do it. I have not had a good record with stuff today.
Yeah, sure. Okay, what was Kenvy's IGN before his name was Kenvy?
I thought this was a Terminator trivia, man.
No.
Kenvy. I don't know. I don't know our players' deep lore like that. What was it?
So before Kenvy was Kenvy, I knew him on the, I think he was on the First Blood Discord server, but also on the Revolution Gaming server. His name was Blackpink Jisoo.
Oh, that is something that you specifically would remember very fondly, so.
Yeah, I was very active in casting those in-houses. That's where I got my start.
See, I was going to say K-pop, but also that.
Those are the two first servers I was casting.
That's okay. Everybody starts somewhere, right? But anyway, as we get into our pick and ban, Zeri is banned. Watch this Jinx get picked up is the expectation. No, it's Caitlyn! Prismal going right on back, taking away. Because that's something that we know Wixie and Busio, they love playing the Caitlyn Lux, but not going to have an opportunity to do that this time around. So, what is the response coming through, right? We saw we're already getting a very different style of game as Wixie going for the Jhin. Very different already. We have not seen this matchup in Academy basically at all this year.
Yeah, this is interesting, and I like that Busio wanted to wait out on his support matchup, just wanted to guarantee that CLG would lock in the Lux, just to know that he has information of where they're going up against, although that is the most standard pairing that Caitlyn has been playing with. Rosethorn going back to something like the Volibear, which gives him flexibility in where he wants to go, if he wants to full clear or if he wants to be proactive on the map in the first couple minutes of the game. And now, both of the bot lanes and the junglers being locked in, we have flexible cores here, Josh.
Yeah, I really like the fact that both teams have gone for. I'm a little bit more fond of the Lee Sin than the Volibear, but something that Rosethorn has piloted to success in the past. And as we get into the next phase, the big difference that we are going to be seeing is that Tahm Kench has a lot of kill threat when paired up with the Jhin, right? You're able to get the Abyssal Dive into the captive audience, and once somebody is locked down, they're going to die. At the same time, early on in the game, Tahm Kench is squishy enough that the reverse crowd control combo coming in from the light binding into the cupcakes are going to mean that Busio can even go down. So this could be a very volatile bottom lane, and we know that both Breezy and Busio tend to be aggressive support, so I'm expecting to see a lot of fighting down here in the bottom side.
CLG want to protect Prismal and Breezy while they are pushing aggressively in this lane. And notice here that Tahm Kench is a strong support in its own right, but the Thresh was available. And on red side, we have seen many plays, such as the likes from Golden Guardians, where Chime and Iconic link up and go for a typical Thresh Dark Passage play, bringing him over the wall to punish the overextension of something like a Caitlyn Lux. They don't go for that, but I still want to see if 100 Thieves are going to capitalize and find a way to break this Caitlyn Lux lane early, because if you can stop it from snowballing and you're the ones that decelerate it, then those two picks have a very rough time trying to find the same amount of impact as they would in the mid game.
Yeah, and as we turn towards the R in the mid lane, Jimmy has had his best aggressive plays on this champion from what I can remember, something that he will have a lot of agency on throughout the rest of the game. Now, we also saw Viger, great counter pick to this champion, played by Ryoma earlier in the day, but Triple going to be going instead for the Victor, because I mean, he was definitely feeding for the Ahri if it was left open, but very happy to take this. It's not the easiest matchup in the world to navigate because of how much damage and the mobility that Ahri has, so your gravity field doesn't have a whole lot of value, but definitely going to be something where you have a lot of range on the side of CLG to kind of stifle a lot of the aggression from 100 Thieves.
Dokla does have to find a blind pick here. Things like the Camille are available. However, he feels confident enough to say, hey, I'm just running back the Tryndamere.
Cool.
I have no idea what you're picking in the top lane, Gomsu, but I don't care.
Yeah, it looks like a very standard 4-1 kind of composition coming out from the side of CLG, right? Like, Dokla can be split pushing all by himself. The 4-man composition of CLG on the rest of the map should be relatively happy to just line up, siege, throw up skill shots, because there's not you know, I'll fight Kelsey on this. There's not primary engage, but if you have enough redundant secondary engage coming out from 100 Thieves, it makes it a lot harder for them to sit around and wait for somebody to make a mistake.
And I called for this in game 1. We got the Graves instead, but this time Gamsu returning to some of his strengths and his roots and back on 100 Thieves next in his frontline play, locks in the Gragas.
Yeah.
And this lane, while Dokla will still have an advantageous time, Gamsu will not be pressured as much, and he will be able to offer so much to the 5v5.
Yeah. Were you doing the dance earlier? Is that what I was saying?
Yes.
Okay. I do respect
I was like,
it.
yeah.
I don't feel like I could do it the same kind of justice as we need for this game, but as we start getting into it, we saw CLG have
you just did an anime piece, and, you know, you did some stuff, so I think you could.
True.
You could dip
You know, if you ever need some waifus, let me know.
Got you.
Also, I'm still shocked that nobody's been calling me out on the Renata bit we did later, but go check Twitter if you need a refresher on that. But CLG,
Joshi's been really out of pocket this
it's been a good week. It's been a good week. If I still have a job next week, you know, this is what Academy is all about. But CLG had a fantastic first half of the series. Now as we go into the second half, they are looking to recreate that with a relatively slow style of play. They don't have the same kind of easy ganks going on in the mid lane because there's no point-and-click crowd control for either of them. I guess Rosethorn technically has some, but he has to use a flash in order to consistently get to Jinian.
Just like that. You got to flash forward and just
Flash smash.
Slam your fist down and stun it to the ground. That's all. That's what it's all
A
about.
lot of rhyming there. Should make some music sometime. But as we are getting into the rest of our series, it is going to be interesting. My dad's actually calling me. I'm going to unfortunately have to put you on mute, Dad. But as 100 Thieves are going to be looking for an opportunity to look for things, my eyes are once again going to be on Busio as the kind of guy who needs to try and find some of these early plays. He wants to find an advantage up against Prismal and Breezy, and if you can do that, it becomes very difficult to navigate with all these ranged champions because they're squishy. They rely on keeping you at bay. They cannot let you get in close.
100 Thieves now taking to the Rift in our final game of the series, but not our final series overall. We still got one more at the end of the day.
Let's go.
It's going to be Dignitas versus FlyQuest, but for now, CLG approaching on forward.
Oh.
Thankfully for Wixie and Busio, they rushed down and got a ward into the bush before CLG could get some vision control of their own, but they sweep it out, and now it is complete darkness in the alcove.
True. Now, I'm really curious on whether or not they actually divvied up. Oh, Caitlyn got a little bit of experience, which I'm pretty confident means that Dokla does not get level 2 off of the first wave, which kind of defeats the point of bringing Dokla down to do that. But it ultimately is not going to have a big effect on the game one way or the other. So CLG already taking up posts to make sure that Wixie and Busio are uncomfortable walking into the lane, and the rest of our map is just going to be pretty stock standard. The only bit of vision that has come through is 100 Thieves do get a ward on CLG's Raptors, which will hopefully allow them to navigate and understand where Rosethorn is going to be running around to.
And Rosethorn already setting up to path from top to bottom, just like Kenvi. Both of these junglers have the potential to be meeting each other at a 3v3 or around the river towards the bottom lane. As we highlighted at the top of the draft, once we saw these three cores locked in for these teams, it is all about the bot lane, right? Prismal and Breezy have the potential to be such a nuisance and to be incredibly oppressive against Wixie and Busio, pushing the lane all the way under the tower and the wave and causing Wixie to potentially lose out on some CS. And if Rosethorn can protect that lane and maintain their snowball and the acceleration of those plates getting funneled into Caitlyn, then the mid game is going to be so huge for CLG.
I would love to see that coming through. I love the fact that CLG is already being really aggressive. Dokla up here in the top lane, attacking Gamsu really aggressively. You're seeing that Gamsu, even though he hasn't used up a whole lot of mana, is going to have to chug through these potions in order to stay alive through a whole lot of this. He's going to be really pressed to keep his HP bar up, because when you start getting towards level 6, Dokla is going to be really aggressive and able to find all of these opportunities to try and actually dive the Gragas. But so far, relatively quiet early game on the rest of the map. We are just seeing the full court press from CLG as they are creating a lot of uncomfortable situations for 100 Thieves lanes.
Damn, I thought Cubby was in this room for just a minute.
Were you feeling uncomfortable?
No, it just I don't think anyone else uses the term full court press. It's usually just a Cubby term.
Sports boy.
That's what happens when you you just watch golf outside of League of Legends.
I don't think that's a golf term, though.
No, but let me just make fun of him, damn it.
All right, I will always be down for the Cubby slander whenever it's coming through. But
it's a term of affection, by the way. We don't actually hate Cubby. We love Cubby. We just need to find ways to poke fun at him.
Oh, we do? Oh, well.
Wait. Oh. Uh-oh.
Either way, CLG are doing a great job. We were already saying if they can get some plays early on, they're going to be very happy. A lot of damage going on to Brucio, and they're very close to peeling off the first plate off of this bottom lane turret. But Triple also effectively out of mana, just constantly fighting with Jimmy. And I love the fact that Dokla using his priority to take things away from Kenvi. They got the bottom side Scuttle Crab picked up by Rosethorn, and now Dokla making sure that Kenvi can't retaliate.
This is teamwork across the board for CLG, and this is what we've expected and really seen come to fruition for CLG when they are at their best. When everyone is on the same page and everyone is making the correct moves to maximize the amount of resources they are not only getting, but also denying away from their opponents as well.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that CLG typically do. They're well known for having thought out early games. They have a lot of idea on how to move around the map as lots more damage goes down onto Busio.
Busio gets locked up here, cannot flash away in time. The Ignite was already ticking, and First Blood is rewarded to Breezy and Prism.
And it might be doubled on the top side. Look at the fact that Rosethorn is already here. I don't know if he got spotted out by the ward, but he gets spotted now.
Gamsu, can he make his way over to the wall and flash out? Dokla closes the distance, interrupts the body slam. The flash comes out. Kenvi is here for the re-engage.
Nice.
Finds the Sonic Wave. Kenvi will be able to take him down. Gamsu, will he go down to Rosethorn? It's quite a lot of HP to burst through, but Rosethorn suffers a lot of burst from Gamsu with the body slam, and it could be well played enough that Kenvi answers back, and Gamsu's the one that gets the dunk.
2 kills going over 100 Thieves up here in the top side as Kenvi coming in at the right side. Not a proactive play, but reacting beautifully. Knowing that Rosethorn is up here, he must have gotten spotted on the ward previously, and immediately holding on and making sure he gets his Q onto the right target. He needs to take down Dokla in order to pick up that kill, and been able to turn around Gamsu, able to just create enough space. There's not a lot that Rosethorn can do once his flash is gone. So great play overall from 100 Thieves, choosing the right targets and being in the right place.
Now, Prismo and Breezy, while they open up First Blood, 100 Thieves fight back and answer. Now, thanks to a well-timed counter gank from Kenvi, saving Gamsu's life. And this is... we have expected that CLG like to play towards Dokla or like to give advantages when it's possible when they are not playing towards Prismo and Breezy. But the fact that 100 Thieves find that counter answer is a way to slow down Dokla in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the fact that 100 Thieves were able to react to that instantly, right? It's something that... oh, okay, should just be able to walk out. I think he's buying himself a back timer here for Triple. But when we saw that last game, CLG spent so much time trying to attack Jimin in the mid lane, you aren't necessarily expecting all these plays up here on the top side. They're able to go for it.
Wait, this is such a creative timer from Jimian. It looks like Dokla might not bite it, but remember, no summoners available. Gamsu already pelts him back with the explosive cast. Jimian still has Spirit Rush available. He's going to get in range. He has Flash available if he wants to go for it. And even though Dokla is not level 6, there's just too much range. He has already ran away and cannot be locked down by 100 Thieves.
Okay, I didn't like that emote coming out from Dokla, but now it's on the other side of the map. Is there a play to be hatched here? They've already gotten 3. Only 7 minutes into the game. Mark.
And no assistance from jungles either. And now a teleport coming in. Oh my goodness, Busio just got exploded.
Busio.
100 Thieves don't even get a chance to answer back.
And CLG now, I mean, Gamsu just used a teleport, so a lot of the leads that he was starting to build up over Dokla are going to be largely erased by the fact that he's still up. 2 full waves is going to be crashing this, and I don't know if Kenvi can actually take this fight.
Wait. I know the Lee Sin is kind of schnasty when Kenvi is playing it, but you're still playing against the level 6 Tryndamere, and Undying Rage
hell of a
just
drug.
Sucks. Yeah, I mean, it sucks to play against, even if you have all the burst on Lee Sin.
Yeah, because it's the kind of thing where even if you're winning the fight, Tryndamere can leave really, really easily. So Rosethorn, using the fact that they have total control of the bottom half of the map to pick up the first dragon of the game, and CLG's early game has only had one... you know, bit of a issue with it, and it was that top lane gank, but Dokla still very happy with this situation overall. He has got a huge CS lead, and he's free to move around the map in ways that Gamsu, after going for that teleport, is not going to be able to match.
Yeah, Dokla might have not been ideal for him and Rosethorn to go down in the 2v2 against Gamsu and Kenvi, but Dokla is not one to be deterred that easily in his reckoning in the top lane, as he has successfully dismantled so many top laners in this Academy split. As he famously noted in his interview, the only player I really recognize is Darshan. Everyone else is whatever.
Yep. Well, that's why we had the slobber knocker fight last time. As the big MMA fight comes through, but CLG is going to be coming through. The pressure gank from Rosethorn does mean that Triple will be able to push this out and then roam here very shortly in order to create a bit more pressure on the map. But Rosethorn just saying, hello, how do you do? Please back up so that my mid laner can hit the wave. But Jimmy looking to try and turn things on its head as Kenvi is also there.
Rosethorn wants to start up the Rift Herald, but Gamsu getting a little feisty here, remembering that Dokla still waiting on his flash to come up. Maybe there was an opportunity, but because Kenvi has already passed through.
Oh.
Okay. We saw this story happen last time, but this time there's Undying Rage available. Can Rosethorn get the damage out, but he has to use Stormbreaker to get away, but Kenvi still finds the Sonic Wave into the Resonating Strike, a kick with the Skirmishing Saber. But meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, we have a 2v2 all in. Prismal takes out Busio, but it's Busio that answers against Breezy. And we're back to top lane. Dokla with the Undying Rage.
The crit!
He finds it to Kenvi, the crit! The RNG comes in through. Dokla thanking his lucky stars, and Gamsu cannot save Kenvi.
When even Riot Games is saying Dokla is going to win this fight, what can you do against the man? He just gets the 30-40% crit to come through, and there's no way for Kenvi to outplay that. So, I mean, it was a very similar situation, right? Kenvi interrupting and turning Rosethorn's gank on its head. That's going to be another death for Rosethorn up against Kenvi, but Dokla still going to be happy with the situation. He's continuing to scale up, and now in the mid lane, Breezy looking for a root.
Oh, Light Binding just barely missing out on Jimmy, not forced to use Flash or Spirit Rush.
Yeah, so going to be all right, and with no objectives currently on the map that are easy to play for, we are going to be seeing CLG going back a little bit, but Rosethorn spotted. Charmed.
No Dragon's Rage available for Kenvi, so he can't go for an Insect. And Jimmy and Busio were ready to inflict some damage, but we need to get the party started. Without the ultimate ability, Kenvi is just poking the bear.
Poke, poke, poke. Yeah, that's generally not the best idea. I would not recommend that IRL. So we'll see how effectively it's been working out. I mean, it's been going well thus far, and we're also seeing that the Frozen Heart immediately completed for Gamsu, and he does a lot of work in reducing the amount of damage he's going to be taking with the Cold Steel passive. But CLG also still poking around. They got a lot of range to themselves, and the bottom lane turret with only one plate left on it is something that they can kind of move over whenever they want.
Yo, Prismal! That was so damn cool. It doesn't take out Jimian, but
6 HP.
The clean Caliber net into the tilt over Peacemaker, and then Ace in the hole on top of it. That was so smooth. Gale Force, too.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from Prismal. I mean, that's the kind of thing where if Jimmy had taken one more minion auto at some point during the lane, he would have gone down. So good stuff from CLG to try and punish that, and playing with the smallest of margins. But doesn't end up resulting in a kill. Good mechanics aside, that you do need to actually find some of these plays, and I like the fact that they're actually going for it. But we have a minute before the next dragon spawns, Mark, and both teams, I think, should be kind of happy to try and go for this. It's a situation where execution is going to be the name of the game. And now that Prismal doesn't have his Gale Force, or excuse me, it will be back up at the time the dragon actually happens, he will be able to kind of move around on a lot of these players.
And in regards to the upcoming dragon, I think it's good to note where the majority of the gold advantage will be for both of these teams when they fight at the dragon. If Gamsu and Dokla are not there, then 100 Thieves are going to be down in overall gold. Because while Kenvi does have some decent stats to himself at this point, Prismal is so accelerated with the completed Gale Force and Tier 2 boots, while Wixie is still struggling to catch up, that you're going to have an overall damage disparity, and CLG should be favored.
Yeah, I really like that point, right? It is about the fact that Gamsu is strong, and he's been present at a lot of their victories. A lot of the times that they go for these fights and they win, it's because Gamsu is also there. But now he's also bullying Dokla around. There's a lot of sustain on both these characters, and 100 Thieves are also going to be first to the punch. They start up the dragon, but they aren't in position to do anything with it.
Unfortunate thing for 100 Thieves, Gamsu cannot join this fight. He doesn't have Unleashed Teleport quite yet, so 100 Thieves, if they can burst down this dragon before Prismo rotates on over, then they'll actually be able to pick up this objective, and look at that! And 100 Thieves just burning it down. CLG cannot collapse fast enough. Greatly done by 100 Thieves.
Crown.
Triple's fine. Triple's fine, right?
The fancy feet dodging the Q and the charm means that Triple's not in any worry. At the same time, the bottom lane turret goes down. CLG trading the dragon for the structure, and it is going to be a lot of gold currently in the hands of Prismal and Breezy. And now they're shifting over towards the mid lane. They want to just give more and more money towards Prismal's Caitlyn.
Yes, sir.
Look at this, so much extra gold.
And right on time. Literally 15 seconds before plates expire, Prismal is going to be pelting everything. And here we go, under the tower, Rosethorn. But unfortunately for him, you're dealing with a catfish who can save his allies with a click of a button. That's the Devour traded for the life of Rosethorn.
And that's still positive for CLG, right? Even though Rosethorn overextends, the entire turret goes down, and they're so close to taking down Jimian. Once again.
Whoa!
The Finalis Falcon not able to actually land. So it is going to be...
Wait, what did you just say?
Finalis Falcon. That's what it used to be called.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not watched your Civ HD?
Oh, okay. That's an older meme, but it checks out.
I mean, it was also, I'm pretty sure it was also called that in English, but it is a situation where it did get changed to Final Spark at some point, and CLG just barely missing out on it, looking for that last kill. Rosethorn also having a bit of a rough game. Feels like every single time he's gone for a play, either Kenvi or Busio have been there to put a stop to it.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Josh, you've completely warped my mind. Finance Focal sounds so badass.
Yeah. I think it's Dutch, but I don't know. I don't speak that language.
Finance Focal! I mean, man, that carries so much weight.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Well, if Breezy lands the next one, I'll
You'll
see
get the shout out. There we go.
Yeah, I'll give the shout out.
I guarantee.
But Breezy's got to land it, and it's got to kill someone. So far, Breezy has either only chipped people or barely missed.
Yeah. Also, our younger viewers are like, what is a Civ HD? What is he talking about? Well, just go back and watch. There's a YouTube channel.
Dude, watch the Ashe video. That's the best one. The Bowling Ashe is LeBlanc and the Vigar bot lane combo. That's like one of S-tier content videos of League of Legends back in the day.
And what would AP Zinjo do? You know, another classic that all of us boomers are very excited about. But CLG, again, a very clean game across the board as all three turrets taken down and given over to Prismal. So he is in prime position to try and carry this game. But Dokla, is he actually under threat?
He has Undying range. He takes quite a bit of chunk from Jimian, dodges out on some extra damage. Now Kenvi is being brought in as extra reinforcements, and Dokla's like, all right, you know what? My ultimate cannot save myself from all of this. And that kick will force the ult trade from Dokla. And that's something that 100 Thieves are going to be content with. However, CLG answer back on the other side of the map.
The inner turrets are worth more gold than the outer turrets, so something that CLG happy to make a trade for once again. I feel like that's been the name of so much of this game, right? Just like, oh, yeah, CLG are happy to make that trade. Rosethorn goes down, but they get a turret. They give up the dragon, but they get a turret. They give up a turret, they get a turret, right? It's CLG every single time looking for these opportunities to just take a little bit more than their opponents. And that's been why they've been so good throughout a large part of the season. Is as long as they're not looking at this significant deficit, they just play super, super intelligently. Ooh.
Oh.
No bear.
Just a little too late, Jimian. That would have been funny. Because I think given everyone's positioning, Rosethorn was either dead or forced to use ult over the wall. But he still could have been chased. So.
Yeah. Okay, look at this play. Jimian and Busio trying to take a little bit of control. The vision control is there for Busio. So if you don't see the catfish, his W is a lot faster. You get there in a spot where they don't see the target for the first 3/4 of a second that you're casting it. So it's a lot more difficult to actually go for some of these plays. But Prismal, not worried at all, but he might need to be.
Oh, Prismal's got to be careful. Still has both sums. Nice Gale Force dodging out on the Deadly Flourish and flashing away from Kenvi. Now, but the explosive cast from Gamsu capitalizes on every single summoner being burned by Prismal, and the marksman is gone from CLG. Their damage is now up to triple, and Dokla to see if they can turn it around. Breezy does have a Luden's Echo as well. Maybe can find some damage back if he can land some light bindings. Final Spark not available, but 100 Thieves are going to be content that they took down Prismal.
Yeah, Prismal, I mean, the person that we've been putting so much gold into for CLG ends up going down. 100 Thieves recognizing he is too far forward. And what were we saying? Gamsu, a big part of every single one of their team fight wins. This time, he's the one who punishes the fact that Prismal is too far forward. And it's crazy. Gale Force plus Flash is not enough to get him out of there. He stops for the Piltover Peacemaker, and that's what Gamsu preys on. Such a small window.
Yeah, Gamsu he was rooted up too, but he could throw out the ultimate ability and like Prismal did such a great job on dodging out on every single thing, and it's like the one thing that he forgot to account for, and it's like, oh man, that is the thing that does him in. 100 Thieves gonna be benefiting off of that punishment, taking the 3rd dragon of the game for their 2nd dragon overall, puts them 2 away from Seoul.
Breezy over the wall. Yeah, it feels like, despite the fact that CLG is ahead, most of the agency in this game feels like it's with 100 Thieves, right? They have a lot of the go buttons. They have Busio to engage. They have Jimmy to look for these picks. They have Kenry who can just jump onto people. Gamsu can also go for fights, whereas CLG, it's about applying pressure in the right places, which is, you know, at the highest level, if you had computers playing, all of this is better, but it's harder for humans to play, and so that's a big issue that CLG are going to be running into. Is while their composition makes a lot of sense, they can't afford to make mistakes.
How clean can the execution be is the question that we're asking. As we are approaching the 20-minute mark, Baron will be spawning in 30 seconds. CLG don't find themselves nearly in the dominant position they were last time against 100 Thieves Academy. Because this time around, 100 Thieves Academy showing stronger signs of life, and we see them on picks that we have really been accommodated to seeing 100 Thieves make a huge name for themselves on. Kemvi, the Lee Sin being one of his tried and true picks back in the day alongside the likes of Graves and Nidalee. And Gamsu, of course, returning to frontline duty on this Gragas, and he's been doing such a great job absorbing pressure, absorbing damage. And while he's down in CS against Dokla, he is making that sacrifice work tenfold in his impact and fights.
Yeah, well, and I love to see it when Gamsu is able to do that. We're also seeing that Roadstern losing parts of his jungle at this point because CLG can only provide pressure where they have members, and unfortunately, Prismal and Breezy kind of have to stick together most of the time. Kenvi smells blood. Ooh. Jimian?
Ooh, not quite. But Prismal, oh, the beautiful prediction from Jimian off of the Gale Force movement locks him down once again. And suddenly, this snowball that CLG had built up for Prismal, all the gold funneling that they got through 2 collective towers, is now starting to be hit on completely and deterred.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. There's a lot more agency in 100 Thieves composition than CLG. And Prismal, this is something, again, Kelsey likes to use the term threat evaluation versus target selection, and it's something where Prismal isn't always in the right spot. He's not always thinking about where can I be attacked from, who is going to be hitting me, as he's been overextended twice so far this game, and it's been giving 100 Thieves great opportunities to try and attack this weakness. And at the same time, Gamsu not willing to actually close out this turret. It does mean that CLG will be able to defend it, and most of these minions will die to the structure. But a lot of the gold lead that CLG had done a good job building up at the beginning of the game has largely disappeared. And so if CLG can kind of rein this Caitlyn in and make sure that they aren't going too aggressive for all this farm, they can definitely turn things around. Look at the fact that Wixie actually a higher level now.
Yeah. Credits to 100 Thieves not only being able to work through the early deficit that Wixie and Busio had to be facing, thanks to just the overall natural laning prowess of Prismal and Breezy into this matchup. Wixie and Busio overall have been down levels. Wixie was down a full item at one point against Prismal just because of all the gold funnel. But now he is caught back up in triple, walking right into the trap. Jimian and Kenvi say hello and surprise, but it's a lot of burst damage coming right back from triple, and it's Kenvi that's surprised because his mid laner is gone.
That was so funny. They both knew that the other one was there, but they didn't know that the other ones knew. So both of them just go in thinking that they get the jump on each other. Jimmy is unfortunately the one that goes down because there are more CLG members around, and CLG now trying to start this up. They have Caitlyn to create a ton of space and prevent the members of 100 Thieves from walking in, and so it's going to be on Kenvi to look for a steal.
Can Wixie do it?
No way.
Can he find the curtain call bullet? Roastar. He stood! He walked in front TP. Can Kenvi get into the pit? Gamsu's maintaining vision.
Hit it.
Kenvi fires the Sonic Wave. They're going to try to hold it off. He goes in. Can he
he gets it? No way!
Kenvi! That's the highest if I've ever seen one, folks. 100 Thieves now looking to loot the rest of the members of CLG who are on the run. 100 Thieves fight back.
Oh my god, Mark. I love watching Academy. What a crazy sequence of events that put 100 Thieves in control of Game 2. They were behind this entire time. But man, small outplays over and over. Wixie finding Dokla with the 4th shot, taking down the Tryndamere through the ultimate because he didn't have it. He wasn't using it. And Rosethorn, unfortunately, this is the whole thing where it's like as soon as you see Kenvi go for this Q, you have to stop the damage. Kenvi is like, I think I got this. And as Prismal tries to take him down, there's just enough DPS that goes into the Baron that they end up finding that as well. And after that, it's a full rout. You just have to run away, try and get out with what you can, but because Jimin is now on Ahri, who is a reset champion, able to chase down all the stragglers on CLG, and for all the impressive plays that CLG had made earlier in the game, now they're running into the fact that it's 100 Thieves who are going to be setting the tempo for the rest of the game.
Last time around, Josh, in Game 1, Kenvi and Gamsu looked lost. It didn't feel like they had any impact or really any agency in the game. This time around, not only Gamsu is back to a comfort champion and in ways that he can impact these mid-game fights and show his prowess and his ability to fight with this team, but also Kenvi back on a comfort champion as well in the Lee Sin. He is making the heists work. He comes up clutch in these plays, and now he gets to play with absolute impunity, no fear against the likes of CLG.
Yeah, and it comes down to the fact that Kenvi did a fantastic job early in the game shutting down Rosethorn, right? The fact that he was there for multiple counter ganks up in the top lane, and he and Gamsu were able to turn around multiple plays. And so CLG, I mean, they have a lot of range, they have a lot of wave clear, and they can still prey on mistakes from 100 Thieves, but 100 Thieves are the ones who can actually make things happen, and we're seeing that right now. As 100 Thieves line up to siege, the wave clear coming out from CLG is struggling to deal with these super minions.
And Dokla is down a full item against Gamsu, so it's difficult for him to be able to deal with him. He's also 2 levels down. However, Dokla has friends coming in. He's going to try to force the opposition and force the favor here. Piltover Peacemaker, or Ace in the Hole comes in. Triple should be able to get him down with the damage. There's no way that Gamsu gets out of this one, and the shutdown will go over to Triple.
Yeah, there you go, finding something on the map. Unfortunately for them, it's going to be at the cost of multiple turrets, just as like we were saying. But CLG gets a turret. This time, 100 Thieves are the ones who are going to be getting 2 turrets for the fact that Gamsu ends up going down, and they are going to be happy to make that trade. So CLG, they got to find something, and it puts a lot of pressure on Breezy, who's the only one with proactive crowd control, to try and find some opportunities.
We're now completely flipped in terms of the game momentum, Josh. Off of a miraculous play from 100 Thieves, they are now 3,000, 4,000 gold ahead. And while Dokla can still be a split push pressure the later the game goes on, I'm not sure how much of the game that CLG can stall out for, right? Because 100 Thieves are now in a position they can force fights. They have multiple engage tools between Busio's Tahm Kench and Gamsu's Gragas. You even have Kenvi, who is also going to be willing to go for the kick flash plays as well if there's an opportunity for it. And CLG, the big thing is they don't really have that many peel sources or disengage options. Outside of the gravity field, you have to land light binding.
Yep. So, I mean, as they start to go forward, some damage onto Breezy from Rixie's ultimate. You know, it's definitely a good buy case if I've ever seen one. Not a whole lot more that he can really do with his former duo, but it is a position where 100 Thieves, now they create a lot of pressure, and it's on CLG to try and stifle that and wait. They are waiting for a member of 100 Thieves to walk too far forward. They're waiting for Breezy to land a light binding. They're waiting for Rosethorn to be able to look for an opportunity to flash on somebody, because until something like that happens, CLG don't have engage tools. They cannot get these fights started. It's all about fighting that pick and then running down everybody once you have a 5v4 situation. Also, the 4-1, right? You have Dokla off on this side lane, but despite the fact that he's up 20 CS, he's down in experience because of how much time Gamsu has spent in lanes, even if he's not able to last hit.
And still down a full item as well. Gamsu has completed his Fimple Winter. So, you know, while Gamsu is just working on the tank economy build. He's doing his job. He's keeping Dokla in check, marking him in these fights, and also still finding ways to impact them with great explosive cast. And Dokla, you can see, he is attempting to put a chip onto Gamsu. It's not happening, man.
Not happening. I mean, that's the value of Frozen Heart. It really nullifies a lot of pressure on the map. But we can also imagine if Kenvi hadn't gone for those counter ganks earlier, Dokla could be winning this very handily right now. He's just got the last Whisper completed, looking to find more armor penetration so he can actually eventually take down Gamsu. But his time for farming is starting to run out, right? We are less than a minute away before the Hex Tech Soul is available for 100 Thieves, and the slow that it provides them gives them even more opportunities to try and find these picks.
AoE static shiv, baby.
AoE static shiv with a slow. Pretty crazy. So CLG, they're pushing out through the bottom lane. I like the fact that they are not just trying to move through the jungle instead. They are going to be going through one of the lanes, getting some chip down onto Jimian, but they might have enough. They have a couple of members here first, but we get to see both sides of this. They need to make sure that they don't get flanked by Gamsu because they are all about the range advantage.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And Dokla's also here, but he's getting marked by Gamsu, so he can't participate in the fight quite yet. This denies 100 Thieves some engaged tools, but Boostio and Kenvi are still here to make the plays happen. They're just stalling out the timer until the dragon spawns. Prismal looking for the play, flashing the charm, keeps himself alive, and now Jimian is forced to recall. Has teleport, but it's going to be a slight timing window where CLG will have the numbers advantage. It just depends on how fast can Jimian get back in time. Unleash teleport now available. But CLG cannot get in.
Yeah, I think Prismal thought he had his ultimate. The ultimate was up. He might have been able to get that kill, but now Jimian comes back, and Prismal is just down sums.
Wait, Jimian. Okay, I thought Jimian was just going to push the wave. 100 Thieves maintaining advantage over this dragon. They leash it on out. And Jimian says, wait. I could just push the wave. Yeah.
Just go mid.
Inflict pressure on the turret. Force CLG into a position where they have to choose between dragon or the base.
CLG, they have to make a choice, and the damage coming out from Breezy is just not there. Can they get another dragon? They get it.
Rosethorn secures it. Kenvi kicks Rosethorn away, and now they have to disengage, but they need to buy time because Jimian is taking out the inhibitor turret, and the inhibitor will fall as well. Yes, they don't get the soul, but they will destroy parts of the base of CLG.
The inhibitor goes down, and now CLG in full panic mode. They're going to be teleporting Triple out, but that's an opportunity for 100 Thieves to come in. No, they choose not to. Triple going to have to use the Zonias to keep himself alive in that last engagement, but look at the switch play coming through from 100 Thieves. They forced everybody on CLG onto the bottom side of the map, and now they can move up towards this Baron buff. And are you trying to tell me that CLG can walk into an Ahri without vision?
Well, I mean, they just did. They got away with it with Murner. No way to get picked off by the charm. It's off cooldown, but Rosethorn taking a lot of damage off the back end. Forced to use the ultimate to get away. Jimian now under fire. Uses the Spirit Rush to get away. Kenvi in the thick of it all. Gets bursted out. Not quite on the same
that's
page.
two? No way.
The hole, threads its way through the haystack, finding its way onto Jimian. Not even Gamsu, who was trying to intercept it, could protect Jimian from falling. Dokla does flash the deadly flourish from the 100 Thieves. And now Wixie and the rest of Gamsu and Boostio have to find a way to pull CLG off the Baron because they have 5 members to 3.
This is still so tough though, right? You have no way to get a fight started. You don't even have a Rosethorn's ultimate to get in. CLG desperately trying to find a way to do DPS, but they can't allow, like Prismal can't even walk up. 100 Thieves just need to buy time.
And Dokla doesn't have ulti available. Gamsu finds the solo kill opportunity. Wants it, gets the dunk down. The ghost does not come out in time, but it buys time for CLG to burn down this Baron. Remember, they don't fear a 50-50 smite. Rosethorn secures it, and now 100 Thieves are on the wrong side of the tracks. They're not on their side of the map. They have to cut this one out. Gamsu, if he can buy time and space for Wixie, maybe he can protect him, but Jin, very difficult to get damage down successfully here. Body slam from Gamsu intercepts the backline, but it's Prismal that finds his way over the quadrant of the jungle. Picks up Wixie, and now Kenvi and Gamsu are on the run. Gamsu is tanky enough, should survive. Dodges out on the final spark.
Okay, Jimian's still looking for something on the backside. Not quite going to find it. Ultimate committed for nothing. Oh, he might find Rosethorn.
Rosethorn Point blank charm range. Chem-V finds the Sonic resonating strike, and Jimian will pick up the kill.
Rosethorn not having the confidence to just sit there and finish channeling the recall. I think he would have made it back, but either way, a huge play coming through for the members of CLG. And I said I didn't think they could walk into an Ahri blind, but they are able to do so. And the thing is, even though Dokla dies here because Wixie and Busio shift down, they give up control of the river. Something Sun Tzu, Victor W, and it's so hard for them to get right on back towards the Baron buff. And Busio is just left here because the rest of his team can't come through this choke point. They can't help him whatsoever. And once the front line is started to go down, there's not a whole lot left for the members of 100 Thieves to do. It's just about trying to find a little bit on the backside. And to their credit, Jimian is able to do that. Unfortunately, it's going to be the Baron buff that ends up going over to CLG, stalling out this game a little bit longer and allowing CLG to continue to try to look for mistakes.
While they lost their middle inhibitor, CLG are going to be thankful that they were able to secure the Dragon, which denied the soul away from 100 Thieves, but also the Baron on the back foot. This gives them more stalling power and a little bit more time to wait out for the next Dragon, which will be spawning in a minute and a half. Remember, this is still soul point for 100 Thieves with CLG. Because of Baron, they're able to push out these waves more easily and allows them to gain control.
Getting that control is a good first step, right? But you need to create situations where 100 Thieves feel like they need to respond to you, and they are just walking through. They don't know Jimian's here. Okay, now they do.
Oh, good ward. And Jimian now caught out behind enemy lines. He has the Hextech gates, and it's enough distance that Triple cannot capitalize and punish him.
Okay, good stuff from Jimian to keep himself alive. Again, defensive play has been great so far this entire series, this entire season. But CLG, remember they said that 100 Thieves needed to feel like CLG needed to make 100 Thieves feel like they needed to respond, and 100 Thieves are able to be proactive, which means that this Baron buff does nothing because you're not next to your own waves. And with 20 seconds left on the Baron buff, it is going to be gone. So Triple now on Gragas duty, but here's a teleport coming through. Jimian looking for a flank.
And Rosethorn has no more friends available, uses the Stormbreaker to get out over the wall, but can he get out alive? There is no one there. Dokla might be able to turn this one around. Triple is teleporting in. They have to be able to clean out with their jungler here. They need to be able to fight back. Jimian, oh my god, Jimian is waiting for Prismal Breezy to approach. He explodes Breezy, but Prismal still can do damage. But Gomsu with the flank of his own pops Prismal like a bubble, and the rest of 100 Thieves will be able to just eviscerate the rest of CLG. Dokla made it out alive, but can he defend against the 5 full squad of 100 Thieves?
There's no way. There's 25 seconds before even Breezy's up. Great patience coming through from Jimian, waiting for the bottom lane in order to blow them up. Dokla gonna try and cut the wave, but I don't even know if he does this, if that's going to be enough, right? They are still very, very tanky members, so he might be able to stall out the game, and it looks like he's going to be able to. It looks like 100 Thieves aren't going to be going for it, but they still get the Hextech Soul. It's going to be another Hail Mary that CLG are going to need to throw.
And Dokla doing everything that he can to put his team on his back. Will buy a little bit more time, barely escaping out as well. The soul does go over to 100 Thieves, like you said, Josh. Jimian is looking for Trinamir. Dokla still doesn't have Undying Rage, and he pops him.
Good stuff coming out from Jimian. Now Rosethorn trying to find something, but he just might be the next one.
Rosethorn's got to be careful. No, yeah, I don't think Flash is available quite yet. It's just barely not coming off cooldown, but he walks away. He's able to rejoin his comrades in Breezy and Prismal in the base. And now CLG just holding on to the very last remnants of this game.
100 Thieves, though, in firm control of everything, right? They have the Hextech Soul. They've already been in a situation where they have the tools to get things started, and they have been using them across the board. Prismal overextensions, punished. Rosethorn's ganks, punished. Triple trying to move around the map, and Dokla trying to cut the waves, all punished. It feels like 100 Thieves have total control of everything, and CLG, you know, if you have nothing left to do, just go for an ARAM, right? And then maybe you have a better ARAM composition than your opponents. Unfortunately, there's not normally teleports in ARAMs, and Gomsu can always go for a fight on the backside where he just flanks and interrupts the way that you wanted to play.
The rest of 100 Thieves are encircling towards the top side of the map through the quadrant. Gomsu can take all this damage, and he's just fine. He is he's so damn tanky. CLG trying to find a way to force and engage, but as you noted before, They don't really have any, because at this point in the game, it's so hard for Volibear to consistently close the distance against a team that has so many ways to push and pull back.
Yeah, we're also seeing, remember when Prismal was the most fed person on the map? Dokla.
Yo, Jimmy, it didn't even land the charm. That was Orb Deception. He's going to look to pop Dokla once again, forced to use the stopwatch just to survive.
Yeah, now Jimian is starting to look a lot better. Now he's strong enough to basically duel anyone, and he's not really worried about how they can respond. Watch how 100 Thieves are going to be setting up. They can be either doing this Baron, or they can just be forcing CLG to come face check them, because there's not a way for CLG to deal with the Baron minions. They have to try and find a fight, but Dokla's out in ultimate, Prismal's out of heal, and they have to walk through Fog of War.
The only thing that is thankful for CLG is 100 Thieves don't do it as fast. But they're going their way through. Final Spark marks it at 3,000 HP. They peel off the Baron. Devour's there.
That's
they try to eat and swallow Rosethorn alive. Bucio goes down. Explosive cast splits up the fight. Jimian's onto the backline. Breezy popping the Zonias. Can he survive? But Jimian looking for the Orbit Deception, but Breezy flashes it. Look at Wixie. He is suffering a lot of damage, but he gets pumped by the Baron. But it's Jimian that cleans them all up and finds the last one. It's a quadra for Jimian.
Jimian finally finds the angles that he needs. He shows up and shows that he's not just a defensive player. They're going to be able to win the game off of this. Great stuff from 100 Thieves, and they take this 1-1. And again, we're getting more draws. We're getting more teams going back and forth, first versus last, top of the clump versus the actual one of the top teams, CLG, falling here to 100 Thieves. If you aren't entertained by Academy, you just don't care about these players, man. They are always going back and forth, and anybody can beat anybody.
100 Thieves, answer back. You're absolutely right, Josh. I can't really finish on a better note. CLG and 100 Thieves do end up tying the series, but for us here, it just goes to show that the entire Academy landscape is so damn competitive with each other that, yes, we have standings and we have established positions where everyone is, but as you noted before, we just saw a team like TSM take down Golden Guardians, team on the bottom of the standings versus team at the top of the standings. 100 Thieves also technically in the middle of the pack, whereas CLG is more towards the top. So it feels like on any given day, any Academy team can beat any Academy team, and that's just what makes these games so damn interesting and so damn entertaining.
I'm so excited. Every single time it feels like we are getting these teams closer and closer in the second half of the split, right? Everybody is kind of leveling up. We're seeing teams that were struggling in the first half come back and start beating the teams that were our traditional top teams. And it feels like even the players that we weren't necessarily expecting as much from are starting to step up. They're having good games. They're having opportunities to carry. And we were saying that Gamsu needed to be part of a lot of these victories. You said that Jimian was a defensive player, and they're both kind of showing us that there's more to these players than just what we were seeing from before. And this constant growth is what Academy has always been about and what it will always be about. It's a way to get better at League of Legends. That's what we're seeing today.
Yeah, the cool thing about this win from 100 Thieves is not only great restraint and mental fortitude from Wixie and Bucio for surviving the Caitlyn Lux lane early on, but then, of course, Kenvi and Gamsu being the ones that bridged that early deficit 100 Thieves were experiencing towards the mid-game where they catapulted back. And then Jimian was kind of our unsung hero because he went quiet during the first parts of the game. He made some great picks, but we didn't really pay him enough credit until towards the end where his damage was just skyrocketing through the roof. And so, again, congratulations to 100 Thieves for being able to even out the series against CLG. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be Kangas on the interview desk with 100 Thieves Academy.
depths that I came from, and the pain that keeps keeping me strong, and the hurt that you cause in my soul. Better count on the seconds you go, for you're nothing but a memory gone, nothing but gone. 'Cause I'm an animal, I come back like a storm. Gonna break through the damage you've been putting on me. I won't stop until I know that I'm won. Gonna take back the things that I own. Don't you tell me that you think that I'm wrong. 'Cause I'm never gonna stop, I'm never gonna stop, I'm never give up. Don't you tell me when you think that I'm So I won't stop until I know that I'm Don't you tell me that you think that I'm wrong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our post-match interview. I have the privilege of sitting down with the one and only Gamsu, current top laner for 100 Thieves Academy. Very interesting series against CLG, splitting 1-1, but still picking up a win, so congratulations. And laning against Big Dokes. This was the rematch of Proving Grounds finals back in the summer, and he's currently looking like he's on form this summer, or rather this spring. Curious, Gamsu, what kind of preparation did you put into facing this specific lane opponent?
I didn't really prepare like specifically, but like I just prepared like normal. But I think I just focused on my team more than enemies.
Okay. I mean, interested to hear that because, of course, he has been having an incredible performance. How would you rate the last summer finals appearance where you also were able to get the best of him in that best of 5 compared to current form? Do you feel like there's a big difference between the two of you, or are you feeling more comfortable in the matchup?
I think me and him just got improved like equally, but I think he was doing
Okay.
pretty good. But like this year, I'm just focusing more on like team plays than like my laning or something like individual stuff. Like yeah, I was pretty satisfied with the second game.
On that note, I mean, even focusing on the team fights, you and Jimmy were finding incredible angles throughout that entire game too there. I want you to walk me through maybe some of the moments, if you can remember, specifically the dragon where Jimmy's hiding in Tribush, gets the pick out of Prismal, you flank around on your Gragas pick. There are so many cool moments like that that happen. So what was communication like from the team, and how has communication been improving for 100 Thieves overall?
Yeah, early game my team was like losing and like behind pretty much, and so like I just told my team like just play pill, like me and Jimmy can like look for good engages, and like after that like everyone was like playing like like as a group like strongly, and then like Jimmy and me were like looking like good engages, and like it worked out really well.
It did work out. I mean, honestly, it looked like the team really came together in that second game compared to the first one. Different team potentially that we were even seeing on the Rift. Now, you also had a chance to sub in for Proving Grounds Summer 2021. I already mentioned that this was the rematch against Dokla. I'm curious because you've played in multiple different leagues. You've played at the professional level. How does the competition feel right now in spring? Because we're leading into another Proving Grounds here shortly. So what do you think about the competition?
Yeah, I think every top laner is like good individually, like everyone. But I think team plays matters, especially in this meta. I think top carries kind of hard. It's all about like helping team and like communication.
Okay. Communication definitely important, and that's what that last win came down to. Clearly, was the team communicating and pulling it together. Congratulations on the win, Gamsu. I want to bring up something that I noticed on your player survey, because at the beginning of the year, we actually sent out surveys for everybody, and you said that you do cook your own meals and that you consider yourself a good cook. So I got to ask, before I wrap up here, what's the secret to making a good duck bulgogi? Because I can't figure it out, man. I haven't been able to do it yet.
Oh, actually, I can't make it. It's pretty hard to make
Oh, no!
bulgogi.
Well, all right. I'll keep chasing after answers then. But either way, thank you so much, Gamsu, for taking the time. Any final message that you have for any of the fans out there?
Thank you for supporting me and my team. Like, have a good day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gamsu. Really appreciate you taking the time, and best of luck going into next week's matches.
Thank you.